your quads were a weak point, you felt like, or you felt like you could have brought them up more in the off season to present yourself better on stage? You want to dive into what that meant for you specifically when you say weak point, and what you're comparing that to and what you're planning to do moving forward?
So yeah, when you get your stage pictures, you see where you're weak. And I always thought my legs were a strong point, but there were people competing that year, especially when I was stood alongside the likes of David Kay, Nathan Williams, the WNBF. I was stood alongside Barder and a few others. He won the overall and did the Natural Olympia as well. And you could just see my quads were the weak point. So yeah, in the off season, wasn't really targeting my quads. I was hitting my glutes a lot. I wanted the glutes like Ben Howard all the time. I was thinking, I want to get shredded glutes. I was hitting them. I know that probably I need to do conventional deadlifts to bring them up a little bit, but the main focus now is quads. So I've revamped my training, and I've actually got another coach now that's helping me with it. And there's a big focus on quads.
Okay. So when you were training, did you find yourself not really feeling your quads being stimulated? Like you weren't getting that sensation or that burning like sensation via high intensity muscular contraction when you were training them? Is that kind of the proxies you were looking out for, or what you're looking out for now?
Well, I was training them hard, but I just recall all the lifts I was doing. I thought I was doing really well, like with my squats, with my hack squats. I was lifting heavier than what I've done. And I do think it's probably a product of pushing my weight too high and doing such a long diet as well. Doing the right stances, say on the hack squat, the pendulum squat, the leg press, it were not a quad dominant stance. For me squats, I used to feel it on my glutes more than my quads. And like I say, on the leg press, I were doing 500 kilogram, not really feeling it on my quads too much. It were more like just getting back of my legs, my hamstrings. So yeah, just like change my stances on it's bad for the ego. Like I'm lifting half the weight of what I used to do. And yeah, hopefully I can bring them up. I think they've improved a little bit already. Like I say, that's what makes you eager to come back. You work on weaknesses and come back.
So do you feel like when you're training them now, you're getting quite a more stimulus specifically in that region as say prior?
Yeah, definitely. Like I say, not lifting as much weight. And before I got my coach, I was doing I've always known these combinations, like do a set of leg extensions, then jump onto leg press. I literally were doing that, and it felt really good, in terms of my quads. And like I say, I think I've improved them already. So yeah, just like doing the leg extensions before the exercises, and like I say, just the different stances, doing a full range of motion as well on the hack squat, the pendulum squat, not like half repping it, to really stretch the quad to the max before lifting.
Right. So that's sort of like a pre-exhaust. You are taken by that. You prefer that style specifically for legs, but do you use that for any other body parts?
Well, I've only been pre-exhausting now to get me quads.
Okay.
I've always known about it, but I've always been a fan of start with the hardest first and then do all the isolations after. And yeah, I wouldn't do it for, say, lat raises before. I wouldn't do lat raises before shoulders. I wouldn't do flies before chest, because I'm obsessed with pushing them scores up, the dumbbell chest press, dumbbell shoulder press. But it's not the numbers. I mean, I'm obsessed with like getting stronger on those, but it probably would be better to pre-exhaust and isolate a muscle first before doing the compound, which is actually what I'm doing now.
I know a lot of the British, I don't know, maybe it's just where you guys are from, Dorian Yates, the high intensity, heavy duty type of training, everything to failure. Is that kind of how you train, or what's your style?
Yeah, definitely a push to failure. I think that's a product of logbooking. You just want to beat what you got previously. Once say I have a heavy day, just lift as heavy as I can. Every session I've got a rep range that I'm trying to aim for. Big fan of a top set and down set.